Basically, I mean, that's the story. I wish I could have a little bit more to say in the way things have turned out, but I really didn't have a whole lot to do with it. You guys have allowed Christmas to become this giant clusterfuck of families and stressing and strife. And if I live to be 5,000 years old, I will never understand why people gather on purpose when they know there's going to be a fight. Stay home. Get drunk by yourself. Give the wife and kids a break for the day. Uncle Walt doesn't really know what an asshole you are. You just think he does. If you can't find it in your heart to be civil for one day, I'm not even saying sober, just civil, then leave Christmas to the kids. I realize that I'm not exactly a rose in the ivy. I'm not as negative as you may think. If I'm coming off gruff right now, it's because I don't like telling the truth, and I'm dying for a cigarette. For that matter, I'm not really cynical at all. I'm just being realistic. I started this thing with sincere and positive intentions. Did I hop on somebody else's train? Sure I did. But if you're going to hang your hat on another guy's hook, well then the Lord and Savior seems like a pretty good choice to me. You're the ones that took that out of the equation. That's why the day exists, why it's celebrated. But instead of just backing off and saying, well, you know, I don't necessarily believe that, you all tried to jam your own meanings and tenets into this one tiny little box marked Christmas. So, of course, that container burst open and spilled all over the place, and now the season starts in mid-September and crawls into the second week of January. And it's become diluted. We start this, well, we're having Christmas on the 23rd shit, and we'll just have the cousins over next week. And I'm telling you, no. If you believe in Christmas, the true gut experience of it, then you can only celebrate it one day a year. I'm not talking about religion or creed or philosophy. I am talking about selfless love. Love at a level that you could not possibly maintain every day of the year. If you don't believe anything else about Christmas, believe that. I'm sure that the legends will continue to change and grow. 500 years from now, they will think of me as a skinny, gnome-like creature with red eyes and a pouch where my belly should be. The funny thing is that by that time, I will probably be a fat old man with a long white beard and rosy red cheeks. I'm not entirely sure who the joke is on in this case. So here I sit. I have everything a man could want except for friends, physical companionship, money, or power. Yet every child loves me. Every adult remembers me warmly, well, except for Ricky's dad, the cop in Pittsburgh. Security guard at Mrs. Warren's kids' village. Father Trimble at Our Lady of Sacred Maybe a dozen others, but you know what I'm saying. The dichotomy is startling to me still. How can a man be a legend and yet not exist? How can a person have magic and yet not be a god? Do you have any idea what it feels like to be adored by millions of people who, by design, are never even supposed to see you? I love these kids. I mean, truly, I do. But you look at me, seriously. They aren't allowed to see me because I'm a fat fucking slob who can't match his clothes to his shoes and can't get a woman to stay with him because I'm either too fucking clingy or too sloppy, or they can't deal with the fact that I'm Santa Claus. presents to kids, people. It doesn't make me perfect or incapable of change. I'm not that rigid. I mean, no. Fuck you. If you want to fucking leave, then go. Take your shit and don't forget your fucking pillow and leave that ring here. That ring stays here. When your common sense is born of failure, you tend to not even think of yourself winning. It doesn't even cross your mind. You spend all your time just not losing. I think about that all the time. How many people might have stayed if I had just believed they would? Anyway, I thought it was time that somebody heard my side of the story. I realized that most of you wrote me off a long time ago, and I expect you won't believe a whole lot of what I've said. That's okay. Treasure the moments, people. Watch your kids open every single gift and marvel at the looks on their faces. Decorate your homes. Save some time for yourselves and do exactly what you want to do. Just try to keep this thing alive. Instill that in your children and your grandchildren. Just something to look forward to. Something on the horizon that's better than this crazy shit that we deal with every other day. I've watched a lot of kids grow up, and I expect to see a whole lot more. Some of those kids grew up to be senators, and some of them grew up to be serial killers. And this is the God's honest truth. I like the plumber's kids the best. I'm sure it stings a little to get a lecture on living every day from a guy who's basically immortal. Truthfully, the full impact of that didn't strike me until like 5 minutes ago. I just know that one day you're playing catch in the backyard with the kids, and the next day you're shitting in your diapers while the nurse changes your sheets. If you're lucky, you're surrounded by family. If you're really lucky, you go and you sleep. Everything in between is what you make of it. Life is hard. It sucks sometimes. That's why we have holidays.
Ha ha ha!